Chapter 3 Proposal. Dinner at the Castle of Chaos would have looked peculiar to the average onlooker. Not only were 4 of the 5 creatures seated at the table unusual in appearance, but also in eating habits. Discord had the diet of a goat and would eat almost anything. Tonight he was consuming a bowl of nails. Once it was emptied, he started chopping at the bowl. Screwball's meal contained the 4 basic food groups: cotton candy, chocolate, donuts, and ice cream. Her mother had thrown some lima beans in there so she would have something healthy, even though nutrition didn't seem to matter with her children. Mothball being a changeling had little taste for regular food. Only things that seemed to satisfy her were sugary sweets, especially chocolate. So as usual, his meal was a massive chocolate shake the size of his head. Saying he had an odd preference for nacho cheese. Since he first tried it, he wouldn't have anything without it. It was how his mother got him to eat his vegetables. Fluttershy, the only non-magical being in the household, was content with simple garden salad. Captain Green Bean! Saying exclaiming as he made a piece of broccoli fall in the air. The great orange beast must be destroyed! He imitated a green bean and spoke in a deeper voice. You cannot be stopped, Lieutenant Broccoli. Roar! Saying growled as he made a carrot appear in a bowl of nacho cheese. Captain, the beast is intolerable! Lieutenant, attack! They fell into the bowl and the emerged covered in yellow goo. What's happening? Said Lieutenant Broccoli. Something got us, saying he had the green bean. Something you figured in the orange beast. What? It's the Prince of Chaos! Ah! The fold chomped on the green and cheese-covered vegetables with a smile on his face. Zany, Fluttershy scolded. How many times have I told you not to play with your food? Oh, let him have his fun, dear, Discord said, taking a bite out of a spoon. At least he eats it after he plays with it. Remember when you tried to get Screwball to eat her vegetables? He snickered. She turned her celery into peppermint sticks. Mothball spat out some of his milkshake aloud. Screwball scowled at him. I hate celery, she declared. It always gets stuck in my teeth. It's good for you, honey. Face it, darling. They have your looks and my habits. He popped the rest of his bowl in his mouth for emphasis. Mothball glanced at Screwball, then at her empty disc. Hey, Mr. Discord. He called to the internet table. May I take Screwy out for a walk? I'll promise I'll keep her safe. Screwball's eyes lit up and turned to her fire. Can we, Daddy, please? Expecting an argument to arise, Fluttershy narrowed her eyes at her husband. To her surprise, Discord waved his paw nonchalantly. Of course, go ahead, you crazy lovebirds. Just avoid the carnivorous beast up there. Mothball excitedly took Screwball's hoof and led her outside. Fluttershy looked up at her husband in awe. I'm impressed, she admitted. It's nice to see you two alone. Discord crossed his arms. Oh no, are you kidding? I'm totally following them. Mothball and Screwball were unafraid of the Everfree Forest. Part was due to the fact that the Castle of Chaos was in the middle of it. The main reason was that if a carnivorous beast appeared, Screwball could turn it into something non-threatening, or Mothball could turn it into something even more threatening. So, Screwball said with a grin, you build me another snow pony. Mothball grinned at the mention of his first heartwarming gift for her. Get real. Zzz. You're the one who can conjure up snow in this time of year. True, but you got something planned, right? I know that look of yours. So what is it? Oh, you'll see. They reached a clearing containing a brown lake. The chocolate lake Screwball had made when she was a foal. Where we first met, Screwball thought aloud. Mothball glanced at her and smiled. The day I met the most beautiful pony in all Equestria. She giggled and nudged her shoulder. You flatter her. I'm serious. I actually felt my heart beat, though I didn't know what it was at the time. He chuckled. When I saw you on that lake, playing in that pirate zip. Hey, that gives me an idea. A rowing rowboat appeared on the lake. Screwball floated into it and held out her hoof. Come on. Mothball was a little annoyed for being interrupted, but he couldn't help but smirk at Screwball's playfulness. He hovered over and sat across from her. He glanced around the boat. Where are the oars? Screwball giggled as the boat started moving by itself. We don't need oars. Right. Zzz. She looked up to the starry sky. Beautiful night, huh? He followed her gaze. Yeah. It's the perfect moment, he thought. He went back to Screwy, decided to use his fancy to summon something from home. A black box appeared at his hoof behind his back. He took his hoof. Here it goes. Zzz, Screwy. Her eyes slanted to his. Yeah. For a moment, Mothball was speechless once he got into those infinite swirls. Then he shook himself to his senses, reminding himself why he was here. He put down the box and took Screwball's hoof in his. Then they banged. The day I met you, he began, was the happiest day of my life. You were the one who zoned me how to have fun. The one who saw the good in me, even when I didn't. I always thought I was a heartless creature, but you. He trailed off when he thought he heard music. He shook it off and continued his speech. You zoned me otherwise, as if that wasn't enough, by taking me into your home. You've given me family I've always wanted. There's no other way I can repay that then. He stopped again when the music grew louder, and fireflies started swarming around him. The link was suddenly blue, illuminated by glowing insects. Looked at a Screwball in confusion, as he narrowed her eyes repeatedly. Well, are you going to ask me or not? Wolfball blinked in surprise. What? I've given you the perfect opportunity, so ask me. How did you ask me to marry you already? The changeling flinched at the volume of her voice, but couldn't resist smiling at how cute she looked when he was angry. Right. Let me tell you the box brought between them. Now, as I was saying, what better way I can repay you than making it a sophisticated family? He opened the box, and Screwball put her hooves in her mouth and aghast. The ring was gold, and a purple jewel that matched her eyes. Will you marry me, Screwy? Mothball said with a blush. The ring floated out of the box and onto Screwball's hoof. She held it up in front of her to admire the jewel, and looked back slyly at the changeling. What do you think, lover boy? Mothball grinned happily. Yes. He gasped as he gripped his chest and brought him close. Heck yeah. She exclaimed before pressing her lips to his. Mothball moaned blissfully as he closed his eyes and kissed her back. He remembered how he used to be so hesitant to kiss her, worried that he would hurt her. Now as he felt her love transferring to him and his love pouring into her, he knew that kissing her only made the two of them stronger. Ew, gross. The newly engaged couple pulled apart and saw Screwball's family standing in the bushes. Zing was about to gag. Fluttershy had tears in her eyes while Discord was glaring furiously at Mothball. So much for privacy, Changeling muttered. Screwball, smart, I wouldn't be so sure. There's a flash of Discord, Zing, and Fluttershy found themselves back at the castle. Discord uttered, Decidos! I think you want to be left alone, honey. And they banged! That night, as Fluttershy climbed into bed, she noticed a blank look on her husband's face as he stared up at the canopy. You're not upset about our daughter getting married, are you? She asked. What? Discord responded, Oh no, I mean, Wolfball's a good kid, right? Anyone who gives up their crown for love would make a fine son-in-law, right? Fluttershy raised an eyebrow. Then what's the matter? He gulped. Well, it's just he's terrible at proposals. His wife huffed. To be fair, your proposal wasn't exactly romantic either. Discord set up. Hey, I made up for it, didn't I? Besides, what does it matter how we got engaged? We're happy now, aren't we? Then why criticize our daughter's engagement? He opened his mouth and then paused. He grunted and lay back down. Touché, my dear. Still, what kind of stallion is he to let the mayor take over the proposal? Fluttershy turned her head and scowled out. Uh-oh! Warning! Warning! Excuse me? Mares can be just as romantic as stallions. Oh, really? Discord smart. Because if you're going to use us as an example, then you're out of luck. When we first met, you couldn't look ponies in the eye, let alone say I love you. I still could propose if I wanted to. Is that so? How exactly? Fluttershy smiled as he scurried closer to him. Oh, I don't know. Maybe something like this? Discord shivered as she ran her hoof off his single arm and snaked around his neck, bringing their faces closer. And then I will lean in, she whispered, her breath caressing her ear, and ask, will you marry me? Discord sighed. That would definitely do it, but he pulled away. You wouldn't have had the guts back then. Fluttershy scowled, turned away from him. Oh, don't be like that, darling. Discord purred, laying his claw on her shoulder. You know I love you, and would have married you no matter what you propose. His wife sighed as she rolled onto her back and looked up at him. Whether I said yes or not, it would seem. Discord shook his head. From the beginning, I wanted my bride to marry me willingly. I never had to say it'd be you.
So you were just taking any run-of-the-mill pony?
Discord! No! Back out! Back out! Now, Switty.
A serious Discord. Suppose somebody else went instead of me. Will you follow him for instead?
Discord, whatever you say, be careful. The next words from your lips could make sure that you'll not get any Nuki for the next week. So breathe and consider your words closely. He casts his tail wrapped around her middle. She was lifted towards him. His face was only wrapped away, his eyes staring sincerely into hers. If somebody else had come, Discord whispered, I would have married her regardless. But would I have fallen in love with her? I don't think so. Few creatures have affected me, Fluttershy, but you. He stroked her face with his paw. You're the only pony who'll ever capture my heart. Justice? What do we give that? Well, personally, I think he did a good job. Able to swoo her and able to keep her on her toes. I give it a 9.5. Only 10 if it was me. Well, considering his method and the way he was able to get out of there perfectly, and that he's not currently on that couch, I give it a 10. You, currently, man, I think she's doing fine. I also give it a 10. Well, there you have it, folks. These swooners have all agreed. And personally, I give it a 10 too, just because Discord was able to get out of that without crashing and burning.
Fluttershy closed her eyes with a tense sigh as he brought her lips to his. When he looked at her, he was smart.
Now, what about you, Missy? Would you have married somebody else but not me? Yeah, Rainbow Dash. Ow!
Fluttershy blinked and grinned slightly. Like you said, I wouldn't have had the guts.
Oh, but anyone could have easily gone to set you up. After all, when I saw you singing on stage at the Grand Galloping Gala. He whispered in her ear, you're like a siren calling for my soul.
Fluttershy giggled as his paw slid down her back. Discard to kids.
Discard kissed her cheek before saying, that's why this room is soundproof, my dear.
Hey, you awake?
Mothball groaned and sounded Screwball's voice. Am now. He opened his eyes to see her smiling above him, not wearing her hat. He was used to her coming in here, as the only alone time they could get together was when Discord was asleep. Let's raise the question. He won't catch you. Screwball shook her head as she slid under the covers.
No, he and Mom are a little busy at the moment.
Mothball's eyes widened. You weren't spying on them, were you?
You gross, no, 'cause I know Daddy soundproofed the room.
Wow, he mouthed. I think he doesn't trust me with you.
I know, right? Even when we do go around his rules, it's not like we're doing anything naughty.
Not yet!
Like I'm totally oblivious what he and Mom do 8 times a week. 8 times?
So you don't love her as much as Hal loves Lois. She stood closer to the changeling, laying her hoof across his chest. Mothball smiled and put his hoof around her. Things were never really further than this whenever they spent the night together. They didn't want things to get too intense and have Discord walk in on them, if you know what I mean. No use giving him matter. They were satisfied with just holding each other, finding bliss in each other's warmth. They never spent the whole night together, in case Discord found in the morning. So Screwball would wait until Mothball fell asleep, then leave.
So, she whispered, when are we going to have the wedding?
Mothball chuckled, somehow knowing she was going to want to discuss that. Your mom asked the same thing, he replied. And I don't really care. We should wait until Thunder Dash and Blossom get back from their wet honeymoon before making plans. After all, Blossom's gonna be one of my bridesmaids, and I know Thunder will want to be one of your groom stallions. By the way, who you gonna have best mare or stallion? Mothball stiffened. I hadn't thought about that. I mean, Thunder and Cinnamon Dick are the only guy friends I have. I hate to choose between them.
You could always borrow Dicky or something.
Yeah, Dicky's been your best bud since birth. It wouldn't seem right.
We'll figure it out later.
Where are we going to have it, anyway? I don't know. Canterlot. Nah, too sophisticated. Us we Appleacres, not sophisticated enough. We could have it in the garden. Maybe. Still not sure. Squeezer told her, we have plenty of time to figure it out. Screwball sighed see cases and a purple diamond on her hoof. I can't believe it. We're actually doing this. Yeah, Muffball sighed. We're actually starting our lives together. We're gonna be a real family. What do you suppose our kids are gonna be like? What? The Changeling jumped up, one falling out of bed, Screwball not caught him. Kids, he petted, but it's kind of we does. Hold your horses, Mothy. I only brought it up because of you being a changeling and me being Czar Chaos, where our kids have your powers or mine, or both. Her eyes twinkle like excitement. Wow, that would be so cool. Mothball asked nervously, maybe we should take this one step at a time. I mean, kids are a big thing, and he frowned as new thought only occurred to him. Would we even be able to have them? Only royal changelings can reproduce, though males do that on their own. Well, this is why they usually acquired queens. He knew his father was a stallion his mother had seduced. But could morals breed with ponies? Hey, Screwball said softly, we don't need to think about that for a while. Right now, let's sleep. Yeah. Mothball muttered slowly as he fell back in bed. Sleep. Outside the castle grounds, two armored changelings were slowly approaching. One in dark green, the other in dark blue. The one in green gazed up at all at the castle. This is the place, generals. The one in blue nodded. This is it, Lieutenant. Wow. You gotta commend this is Cordon's exterior design. We're not here to admire infrastructure, Lieutenant. We have a job to do. Lieutenant took out his days. Right. So, how do we know which room's the prince's? We smell a quorum, of course. The soldiers pressed forward, but some invisible force threw them back. What the Lieutenant exclaimed. General Mantis stuck out his hoof. The castle rumbled before them. A force field. Figures. How else would his family be able to live in the Everfree Forest without any unwanted intrusions? How do we get in? We won't. The general smirked. We'll just have to lure the prince out. He turned to form a Screwball, and the lieutenant let out a snicker. You look pretty good as a girl boss. The general rolled his eyes and muttered Screwball's voice. Rookies. Meanwhile, Mothball was alone in his bed. Screwball had left the minute he fell asleep and returned to her room. Mothball! His eyes opened at the sound of his beloved's voice. He looked at the empty space before him. Screwy. Mothballs. Curious, Mothball rose to his hopes and went to the window. He saw Screwball hovering at the edge of the garden, waving at him. She gestured for him to come over. He shook his head and chuckled. What is he up to this time? Screwball disappeared to trees, so Mothball flew down to her. As he approached the forest, he called out to her, Screwy, where are you up to? We'll get so much trouble with your dad's. He stopped as he caught a whiff of something. Lifted his nose and sniffed the air. Mustard. Uh-oh. Mothball was about to fly out of there when he was blasted by two green beams. Before he knew it, he was encased in a cocoon. Through the green coloring, he could see the faces of two changeling soldiers. One he recognized as General Mantis. Nice to see you again, Your Highness. General grinned. Sorry for the hostility, but you'll understand our reasons once we get back to the hive. Mothball gasped and banged against the cocoon. No, I'm not going back there. The soldiers ignored his protests as they levitated to Chrysalis and began carrying him. Hey, his mom's here. No, General Mantis, help me up, Screwy! Even though his cries were muffled by his prison, he was far away from the castle. His fiancée heard him. Her ear twisted as her chaotic hearing picked up the sound. So he jumped out of bed and raced to the window. As he caught a glimpse of two changelings carrying her beloved off. Screwball narrowed her eyes and put her propeller hat. Oh no, they didn't! Changelings gasped in surprise when the chaotic pony appeared in her half. What are you doing? She boomed. Get away from my fiancé. She screamed so loud the soldiers fell over. Screwball ran to Mothball's side and blasted a hole in the cocoon. He gasped in relief as he let him out. You okay? She asked. Fine. Oh, are you teasing me? Yes. At this point, the soldiers were back on their hooves, glowing horns pointing at the couple. Step away from the prince, girl, General Mantis commanded. Screwball glared at General, her eyes glowing dangerously. Try me. Okay, now I know you're making fun of us. Yep. What's going on here? Mothball demanded. Why are you bringing me back to the hives? So you can be our king, of course, Lieutenant replied. The couple turned to him in shock. What? You fool! General exclaimed. We weren't supposed to reveal that till we are back at the hives. Kings, Mothball stammered. Please. But why? Screwball questioned. I mean, don't you already have a leader? What about Chrysalis? The soldiers exchanged several glances. That surprised both Screwball and Mothball, as neither of them had seen sadness in the other changelings. It scared them. General Mantis hung his head before responding. Her Majesty is dying. Oh no!